Hi once again, everyone. It's Monday night. It's weather for Weather Geeks time, the Valley's most in-depth, highly detailed, geeky weather forecast. We're going to talk a lot about the kind of unsettled week we have coming up, along with a lot of heat. A lot of numbers going to get thrown at you here, but we'll try to break it down day by day. Today, our hottest day in a while. 88 was the number we did at the airport today, our hottest day since September 7th of last year. Not quite 90, but it certainly felt like 90 at times today. We're into the month of June now, and this is a graphic that we bust out in the summertime. There's a little bit of a lag period between the period of highest incoming solar radiation. In other words, the sun is highest in the sky, the days are longest. There's a lag between that and when the hottest weather of the season usually occurs, which on average is in the month of July. And then water temperatures usually don't peak until August. So we were just out at West Branch State Park yesterday, and it was hot. But boy, the water was a little chilly still. It's a little early in the season, but it felt great once you were in it for a couple of minutes. Water temperatures do typically peak in most of our area waterways and lakes as we get into the latter half of the summer season. All right, I have a dog. My dog does not particularly enjoy walks in the afternoons on hot days like this. She definitely wants to be in the grass because, yeah, the pavement's hot. It's really impressive here how hot concrete and especially asphalt can get. Never ever leave your dog just sitting on concrete or asphalt in the sun on hot days like this. And that seems like common sense, just like it's common sense that you don't leave your child or pet in the backseat of your car with the engine not running and the windows rolled up on a hot day. But it happens. People die. Pets die because of this, every year. Not so much because of the concrete temperature, more of the car problem, but this is something that surprises a lot of people too. A day like today where it was close to 90 on asphalt in the sun, it can be 138 degrees. You don't want to touch that with your hand, and your dog certainly does not want to touch that with their paw. Heat index today, not crazy high, not much higher than the air temperature. The dew points were elevated today, higher than they were over the weekend, but they weren't through the roof. So the heat index was not terribly different than the air temperature today, up around 90. Now, as far as the heat index over the next couple of days, air temperatures tomorrow will probably end up similar to today, in the upper 80s. Now, it'll depend on where showers and storms try to set up tomorrow afternoon. Where it's not raining and the sun is still out, the heat index numbers can probably go a little higher than they did today, because it'll be even a little more humid tomorrow. Dew points will be a little higher. Same idea Wednesday. When it's not raining and the sun is shining, it's going to be hot. But there will be a scattering of showers and storms around that will locally knock down some of these numbers on Wednesday. I suspect Wednesday is going to end up being the wetter of the 2 days. Tomorrow, not much. I mean, I've got a 40% chance in the forecast. It's going to be real hit or miss. A lot of this will be in the miss category. Most of this will be midday and afternoon tomorrow. Now that front, it's kind of a backdoor feature, and we call them backdoor features because they're not coming in from the west, but sort of backing in from the east and northeast. This feature will be closer to us Wednesday. I think it'll squeeze off more numerous showers and storms on Wednesday, and some of these could be locally strong. That boundary will then kind of dissipate and lift back north and east on Thursday, but there will be a front approaching from the west, another weak one. But especially as we get into Thursday afternoon, I think it'll get fairly active once again across the region. Backing up to your Tuesday and taking a look at hour-by-hour rain chances here, I have them highest from about midday on, but they never are real high. If you're working outdoors tomorrow, if you have outdoor plans, keep them. Just track any rain and updated forecasts with the Storm Tracker 21 app. Andrew will be all over it in the morning hours here from the studio. On Wednesday, severe weather risk is not crazy high, but it's possible that with that front almost right overhead, that some of these storms could be locally strong, and they could be slow movers as well. And with as juicy as the air mass is going to be, if these storms are slow movers, not only would the risk be elevated of maybe some hail and some wind, but maybe some flash flooding. In a real soupy, juicy air mass, if a storm isn't moving very fast, 10, 15, 20 miles per hour, it can dump a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So that'll be something we'll be looking out for possibly on Wednesday. This graphic never wants to show up right for me in Weather Geeks. Why is that? I would like to know. Let me see if I can grab the correct version of that graphic. Bear with me for just a second, because I do want to show you the correct version of that. Let's see if this works. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted to show. Dew point trend over the next 7 days, starting tomorrow, not Saturday. It's going to be muggy for the next few days, probably even more humid Wednesday and Thursday, which is why I'm concerned about some slow-moving, gully washers out there. Dew points will be trimmed a little bit Friday and over the weekend, but it'll still be muggy and uncomfortable. It's going to take until early next week before the pattern starts to change some, and we get into a more comfortable temperature regime. In fact, let's take a look at the longer range here. If you're not a fan of the heat and humidity, I've got some good news for you by next week. Again, pretty steamy through the weekend, but check out this cooler air mass in the green and blue descending upon the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley by early next week. This is next Tuesday the 20th, so a couple days after Father's Day. That looks pretty comfortable, kind of back to average. Doesn't look super cool or anything, but it's probably back to average, which is in the mid and upper 70s, with lower humidity as well. And there are some signals on the modeling, including the European, which I'm showing you here, that that cool, or at least more comfortable temperature regime may have some staying power for a while. This is, a couple weeks from now, Saturday the 24th. Not exactly a warm-looking pattern across the east. So, our June forecast, which we put out, right at the start of the month, called for a cooler than average month. That forecast looked to be in a little trouble with the warmth now, but it looks like we are going to get back into a more comfortable temperature regime next week. And so June still has a chance to end up being a cooler than average month, despite the warm spell that we're in right now. So hang in there. Air conditioners will get a rest in the kind of the 7 to 14 day time frame from today. Thanks for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you right back here tomorrow evening. Go Cavs tonight, and have a great Monday night.